Hey everybody, welcome to a Monday morning edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. You know what we do. This is the show where we talk a whole lot of sports with comedians. First up, I got to bring in my man Talent, because you know what? You can't start off the show without talking comedy, and to a brother who's been doing it for a very long time. So, Talent, how was your weekend, bro? How's things?
Hey man, this weekend, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Kick my behind, bro. The whole week, kick my behind. I woke up about 10 minutes before the show this morning.
It don't look it though. You always look freshest.
That's that cocoa butter, bro.
There you go. How do we got next? Bring up my man Fig. Fig, what's going on? What's popping? How you doing, sir?
Man, weekend was beautiful, baby. Celebrated my 20th anniversary.
Congratulations again. Happy anniversary, Fig. So you guys know how we get down. We always start the show out. We always do this comedy thing where we talk about the COVID report. But because today is a special day, we are going to bring in one of the best sports analysts in the business. This guy formerly started out with ESPN. Now he's with Fox Sports and FS1. Joining the show today for a special kickoff is my man, Mr. Chris Broussard. Chris, how you doing today, brother? How's everything?
What's up, man? I'm glad to be here. I saw Talent last night, so but it's great to be on with y'all, man. I'm excited.
Well, thank you for joining the show. First off, man, what we normally do is we talk about the COVID report and everything else. But since you're joining the show, we all got questions we want to ask you and everything else. And I know we want to jump into the stuff about the finals. Before I even jump into the finals, Chris, I'm gonna kick things off and ask you something that really, we debate about often and amongst ourselves. My question to you, Chris, because you're the sports, guru of us. Where do you think Dame Lillard is going to land at, bro? Do you think he's going to stay with Portland? Because these dudes call him ugly. They call him all kind of names. And, then they say where they going to think he's going to land. No, that's Rodney Perry.
well, one, I knows at this point what he wants to do yet. I was told a few weeks ago that he was going to take the next month or so and figure out, does he want to ask for a trade or does he want to try to make it work in Portland for at least another year? I think he's going to lean toward staying in Portland for one more year, giving Chauncey Billups, the new coach, a chance to do something with that team. And then if they don't go any further in the playoffs, I think next offseason is when you could see him be traded. Now, if I were Dame, I would be trying to get to Philadelphia. Wow. I would go in and talk with the front office and be like, look, it's been a great run, but I want to win now. I don't think we're ready yet, and work with them to get you traded to the Sixers so and the Sixers can send them back Ben Simmons, maybe Seth Curry, Tyrese Maxey. That's a nice little package, some draft picks, send to Portland. And then in the East, Damian Lillard and Joel Embiid, that's a team that will have a chance to win a championship. Now, I do know, too, I've been told that Dame likes New York. But my thing is, as much as all y'all, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Knicks be good again either, but if you go to New York, his thinking is you go to New York, you got Julius Randle, and you still have enough cap room to get another star with you, right? Because Dame is not – I still think he wants to be the man on his team, and I don't think he's fully bought into let me just go join a super team. But if you go to New York with that expectation that we're going to sign a great free agent, then you're really making a lateral move. Like New York with Dame, are they any better than Portland with Dame? Probably not. So I think he should be pushing his way to Philly.
You know what, Talent? Before I throw it to you, I'm gonna just say my feelings hurt because he didn't even mention the Celtics, but I'm gonna throw it to you.
Celtics makes sense though for Jaylen Brown, him and Jason Tatum. That might be my second choice if I were him.
If you could keep all three of them guys together, you know what I mean? That would be that. My question for Chris is, like, I was on a show a week ago, and he said something interesting that has been spinning in my head all week is if and when the Greek Freak wins this championship with that mindset, he will be the greatest player to ever play the game. Do you stand by that and you feel that? Because after you said it and it sunk in, I was like, you know what? I can see that because basketball is a huge percent of mental. You know what I mean?
The greatest player ever?
Like, no, to playing the game at the time. Like, he'll be the best in the game at the time after this championship.
Well, he's definitely not the best player ever. If they win this. Is he are you asking me, is he the greatest player in the league if they win this championship?
Right, going forward, yep.
Well, there's an argument there. It depends on what you want. You know, a lot of people, I've talked with some ex-players that are saying, and I felt this way going into the series, that even if Milwaukee wins it, Giannis still is not the best player in the world because he's too limited on the perimeter. He can't close a game for you. Obviously, you see who they go to be their closer is Chris Middleton. But what I've seen in this series is Giannis playing more to his strengths than his weaknesses. So now when he's on the perimeter, he's not shooting a lot of jump shots. He's not at the top of the key all the time, revving up, about to drive to the basket where it's very predictable. So I see him playing more to his strengths of playing around the basket, scoring more in the paint. When he's on the perimeter and the opponent builds that wall, he's making all the right decisions, right passes. Right. If he continues to play like this, then yeah, he's still not a great perimeter shooter. But if he plays to his strengths, who cares? So I think there's an argument for him to be the best in the world. Like Kevin Durant isn't the defender that Giannis is. He's not the rebounder that Giannis is. He doesn't score in the paint the way Giannis does.
Right.
So we can point out weaknesses to every other player who would make a claim to be best in the world. My thing is, as long as Giannis plays to his strengths and not his weaknesses, he can be regarded as the best player in the world. Shaq wasn't the closer. It was Kobe, or at times Robert Horry, or at times Derek Fisher. But because Shaq wasn't out on the perimeter shooting jumpers and playing to his weaknesses, we didn't care about that. So that's the key for Giannis. Play to your strengths and don't showcase your weaknesses.
Good point. Good point.
Good point. Fig, I know you must love hearing that just now because I heard it a lot of times. Fig, what's up?
Chris, you went right into my wheelhouse, man. One light-skinned brother to another. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Has analytics hurt the big man in the NBA in the sense that we have all of these guys 6'10", 7 foot and bigger trying to be Steph Curry and shoot three-pointers and stay out on the perimeter instead of dominating in the paint? That's been my pet peeve about the NBA, or the new era of the NBA, with these big men all trying to be point guards.
No, I think that's a great point. And look, analytics, I call the playoffs where analytics go to die. All right, because analytics gets disproven every year in the playoffs. The analytics say you don't shoot the mid-range jump shot. Like, what coaches in the NBA who are beholden to analytics will tell you is either shoot the ball in the paint or shoot a three-pointer.
Right.
That mid-range shot is viewed as one of the worst shots in basketball. That's 17, 15-footer. But look at Phoenix. Chris Paul, Devin Booker, mid-range jump shooters. Chris Middleton's doing a lot of it in the mid-range. All right, even when the Warriors won it with Kevin Durant, yes, they were great three-point shooters, but they didn't shoot a lot of threes. Like, they were in the middle of the pack as far as three-point attempts because they still shot a lot of mid-range jumpers too, got a lot of backdoor cuts too. Analytics also tells you, you know, the big men, you know, like you said, you want to spread the floor and get them out on the perimeter. So, yes, I tend to agree with you. Now, analytics is a part of the equation. You always should pay attention to the analytics, have it be a part of your decision-making, but don't be totally beholden. Analytics are not the end-all, be-all, and this is true in basketball and baseball. The Yankees are analytics-driven, and they're great in the regular season, you know, outside of this year, but they're great in the regular season. But when you get to the playoffs, then they continue to fail. They haven't won it since 2009 because analytics might work over at the average of a 162 or 82 game season. But when you get into the playoffs and the pressure mounts and the stakes are higher, see, analytics don't take into consideration chemistry, what the locker room, is a dude cold-blooded or is the dude going to shrink in the big moment? Analytics can't tell you any of that. Right. So that's where it fails in the postseason. So I'm with you. Giannis has been out there, and the Bucks do it too. Like, they're a big team, and they can pound Phoenix inside. Where they get into trouble, they could have done it to Atlanta too. Where they get into trouble is when they start shooting too many threes because the analytics say, oh, you got to put up a lot of threes. And so, yeah, I'm totally with you on that analytics thing.
Well, Chris, I know we got a couple of things that we want to talk about. I know you got time, time to issue. We all got one more question to ask you, man. My last question for you is, where do you think Kemba Walker's going to land? Because I've heard rumors, looking at all the NBA boys, man, people are saying that he literally could land on the Lakers and it wouldn't be a surprise to some people. You know what I mean? Me personally, I'm not sure if I see him landing on the Lakers, but you're more in tap with all the NBA inside experts on it. So where do you think Kemba Walker's going to end up?
Yeah, at this point, man, I don't know. Nobody really knows. Obviously, Oklahoma City, they're going to want some assets, right?
Right.
And so the Lakers don't have a lot of assets. They got some young players. Their draft picks aren't going to be that great. So Kemba would be good for the Lakers because they need a third guy. But, Kemba's also viewed as somewhat damaged goods because, the knee, he's not quite the same as he used to be. He had a down year. You sound like a Celtics fan. He had a down year, And so, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, you look like a Celtics fan too.
Yeah.
I don't know at this point, and I think that's one of those things a lot of people are wondering in the NBA.
Tyler, you heard him cracking on me. Oh, Rodney Perry's joining the show too. Tyler, what you know? You heard him cracking on me?
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
I look like a Celtics fan.
You sound like a.
That's literally a light-skinned joke. You know what I mean? Rodney Perry, you joined the show, man. Since you didn't have a question the last round, man, and we can wrap this up with Chris, man. You get your question right there real fast. What you got a question for Chris?
Hey, Chris, Rodney Perry, man. I'm a huge fan, first of all.
Thank you.
Man, can you speak to, and we talked about this some last week, that the uglier you are sometimes, you play, you tend to be a little more intense on the court. Can you speak to how sometimes just the fact, like take Milwaukee, for instance, they just not a cute squad. Does the ugly factor play in?
Man, what am I supposed to say to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man.
Hey, Chris, I told you.
No, I have a theory, Chris, for real. Like when you ain't got, when looks ain't an issue, Chris Paul is getting his hair cut every game, and these guys got other stuff to do. When you ain't cute, you get bald.
Hey, I will say this.
Okay.
When I was coming up balling, they were saying light-skinned brothers couldn't really ball. Like we were watered down. You know what I'm saying? But look at the league now. It's light-skinned brothers all over the place balling. Devin Booker, Ben Simmons, Carl Anthony Towns, Blake Griffin.
Hilarious.
Devin Booker is definitely dark skinned. I don't care what nobody says.
You need to stop it.
When you talk about light skin, how you gonna say watered down? That's right.
That's what y'all know. I ain't lying. Y'all know I ain't lying.
You right, Chris. You right.
A couple inches off your vertical, a couple tenths of a second off your 40.
That's
right.
All I'm saying. That's what
Watered down. Here go my question.
We only got a couple more questions, man. Go ahead, ask him.
My question is this, Chris. I need you to give me your 5 greatest players of all time to date. And when I say that, I mean the greatest center, the greatest forward, power forward, small forward, always every position. Who's the greatest?
Okay, so I'm not putting together a team. I'm just giving you the 5 best at each position. Okay, point guard, Magic, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much indisputable.
Right.
2 guard, Michael. That's obviously indisputable. 3 small forward. I'm going with LeBron.
Okay.
Over Bird. And then at the 4, I think Tim Duncan cheats here.
Yeah, me too.
Because he really was a center. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But he always wanted to be a power forward and all that. So if you put him at a power forward, I go with Duncan. And then at the center, I'm going with Kareem.
Woo! Yes, sir.
That's a good squad. Fig, you got the last question. Fig, you got the last question.
Chris.
Go ahead.
Listen. Everybody goes back and forth on this. I've seen your videos, the ones that you've done solo, man, love them. the commentary on the different shows. Here's the age-old question. Will you settle it for us right here on the box seats today?
Okay.
And whatever you say, we're going to have to go with it. Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
I knew it.
Oh, it's Michael. It's Michael. And that's no slight. I got LeBron second, all right? But Michael did not have a weakness. And here's what you do when you're debating the all-time greats. You nitpick because they all are tremendous, right? So it's just little things here or there that separate them. And LeBron, I can point to a few weaknesses. One is the foul shooting, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And that might seem like a small thing, but it's a weakness. Jordan there's not one thing Jordan couldn't do well. Now, the millennials will point to the three-point shooting. But yet, his three-point percentage was the same as Kobe's. And Kobe was never viewed. That wasn't a weakness for Kobe. And it certainly wasn't a weakness for Michael because at that time, nobody really emphasized the three-pointer like that. So if he were playing nowadays, he'd be a much better three-point shooter, I'm sure. But he never had weaknesses. I also think a weakness of LeBron is that he's doing it less now with the Lakers. But throughout his career, he was so ball dominant. Okay, right. And that makes it tougher for other stars to play with you because you dominating the ball and they're just kind of watching you do your thing, right? And so Michael was able to fit into a system. Michael didn't dominate the ball. He shot a lot, but he didn't just dribble it for 15, 20 seconds while everybody watching. And that's not just LeBron. That's a lot of the players of his generation were like that. But that's a weakness that can make it tougher for you to win championships because another star is trying to figure out, okay, how do I get in here? How do I fit in? And so that I think is also a weakness of LeBron's. But yeah, look, Jordan dominated the league in a way that LeBron just hasn't, that nobody has. Remember when LeBron was in the East, right? And he locked the East down. 8 straight years to the finals. Everybody else in the East was shook, right? They knew they couldn't beat LeBron. You're not getting to the finals in the East unless you're playing with LeBron, right?
Right.
Michael did that to the whole league.
Right.
He did that to the whole league for 6 years. You weren't winning because it was Mike. And what LeBron did to the East, Jordan did to the entire league. So Jordan's the GOAT.
He could have really did that for 8 years too, but that's a whole nother conversation for another time. Chris, thank you for joining the show, man. I know we know your time is limited. Chris, I want to ask you before you leave, can you tell everybody out there if you got a book coming out, a podcast, anything? We all know where you're on. We all see you, but you got anything else extracurricular we can follow you and stuff like that?
Well, you see me on FS1 on the television shows, but my radio show right behind me, The Odd Couple with Rob Parker, it's on Fox Sports Radio, the iHeartRadio app, or Sirius XM Channel 83. We on every night from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 to 7 Pacific, Monday through Friday. So that's where you can check us out.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you joining the show.
Y'all keep up the great work, man.
Thank you. I'm not gonna ask you again because you just be on my Celtics. So thank you for joining the show.
All right, y'all.
Peace, my brother.
Thank you, Chris.
All right, y'all. That was Chris Broussard. You guys know how he gets down, man. It's Fox Sports 1, Fox Sports, FS1, Fox Sports, man. One of my favorite sports analysts in the game, man. Listen, man. The brother, what I like about him, I'm gonna just say this, and then we can move on. I'm gonna just say this, and you all can chime in if you want. And I like the way he gets controversial. He don't care who come at him or what they say. He sticks to his point. You know what I mean? And,
who's better than him? Who's better than him right now?
I can't think of nobody who's better than him. Honestly, I just can't.
He's the voice. Right now, he's the voice of the NBA. Right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. He got it. But all right, so
y'all know he's not still listening.
Yeah. You know, but with this saying, I watch him. The thing is writings. I watch him every day, so it's a great thing to hear. Actually, talk to him, everything else. That's a great thing. All right, let's start out with I was going to give a cold report, but Chris jumped in really early, which I really appreciated, man. I'm gonna start out with you, Talent, man. The crazy thing about today's cold report is there's an Olympic athlete who tested for COVID, who got bounced. There is so far 44 people or athletes out of the couple thousand going in. They all tested positive, and they're going to be released from the Olympics. Also, the tennis player Coco Gauff, she obviously can't attend the Olympics, which is all happening this week. And finally, the word is that the Toyota canceled all Olympic ads, and the CEO of Toyota has said that he's not going to the games. He was supposed to go to the lightning ceremony and all that stuff too. So as the Olympics is getting closer, more and more people are getting more affected by this. No surprise though. Count your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, there's no surprise, man. I was looking at something when I woke up today that was on the news. They had the cameras over there and the media out there with, actually covering a lot of protests. We don't get to see that a lot. So I'm thinking that all the protests was kind of online, on the web, social media, Twitter, all that stuff. So to see the cameras out there, to see them protesting because of the same thing we're talking about, the COVID thing and all this stuff, people are still like, we're in the final hour, and they're still out there like, please cancel, please postpone. I'm with them. It's only going to get worse, man. It's only going to get worse.
Yeah. And Fig, I'm going to say this. I would not be surprised if the United States or another, matter of fact, it doesn't have to be the U.S. I would not be surprised if we lose a medal round or something like that because somebody got kicked for COVID in the last final moments before a game or two. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts, Fig?
Man, at the end of the day, it's man, I always say health is wealth. And losing in the Olympics is not the biggest thing in the world. At the end of the day, losing your life is. And this thing is so serious over in Japan. They're canceling everything. No fans, foreign or domestic. The athletes are under strict regulations and stuff like that, man. It's just, I don't know, man. Look, I'm not an athlete. I was in my former days, like Rodney Perry, competed at a high level, but yeah, man. If I was an athlete, I'm just not sure if I would be attending the Olympics. I know it's the biggest event in track and field and swimming and stuff like that, but I'm just not sure that I would be attending just because of health issues.
Rodney Perry, your thoughts?
Man, it seems like, if you're here in the United States, especially here in Atlanta, it feels like COVID is gone. We had a conversation just last night, but then you watch this and you're like, maybe it's not gone at all. And so I don't know about y'all, but I'm really like in tune to this and wondering what's going to happen next. People are not wearing masks no more. People are not, moving around as they see fit. And this thing is still kind of looming out there. So COVID is still real, but it seems like people are not tripping no more, and the Olympics is a proof of that.
And not only that, here's the thing that the red flag for me was when Toyota pulled all their ads. You know how much money that was? They were one of the title sponsors of the Olympics. When the CEO says, I'm not going to be there, we're pulling all our ads from NBC. NBC automatically lost all that money. And when the CEO says we're pulling the ads and we're not going, and nobody's talking about it, I think there's a bigger issue coming. You know what I mean? I think it's something really on the horizon. But anyway, man, I wanted to, keep this conversation moving. If you all want to join the conversation, you see the link up there, man. You can tap in, tell us what you think, whether you agree or disagree or not. But right now, we got to move the conversation on because I want to talk about something a little bit different. It's about sports to a sense. But my thing is, I'm going to throw it out to you, Talent Set out first, man. Space Jam came out Friday because it featured LeBron James. My thing is this, man. It's a kid's movie. I thought it was great. It was a great kids movie. Right. But the movie is receiving so much hate and everything else and so much bad reviews from people who are older and not looking at it like it's a kids movie. Now people are even throwing it up on the board, NBA boards, that it could affect his legacy, LeBron's legacy, which is the reason why I'm bringing it up. Do you think Space Jam literally is going to affect LeBron James' legacy because so-called, critics are saying that the movie sucked? Now, I don't think. I honestly thought the movie was phenomenal.
I seen that question out there. I think that's the stupidest thing in the world. First of all, it's a cartoon. Second of all, it's something he did on the side for fun. Jordan did it. He did it. People do stuff like that. Look, Shaq had rap albums. Ron Artest, rap album. Iverson, rap album. Kobe, rap album. They were garbage albums, but it didn't affect their careers. It didn't matter. It was something they wanted to do. We are more than one thing. If he wants to go and do a little acting and produce shows and stuff like that, more power to him. He's creating opportunities for others. That's the dumbest thing in the world. I seen somebody like making almost like a serious joke. It was like, yo, you know, he won't be getting no Oscar for that. It's a cartoon.
Yeah,
It's a cartoon.
And talent, it's a kids movie. I understand why people are not getting that fact, bro. It wasn't made for you. It was made for the kids, for you to bring your kids.
Hilarious. Hilarious.
Fig, what you think?
I didn't see it as yet. I heard that it came out. I know it's available. I believe on HBO Max. I will be checking it out. I was hearing some of the reviews saying that it was 2 hours long, and you know, the original.
But Fig, will it affect his legacy since you didn't see the movie? Will it affect his legacy? LeBron's
oh no, man, no. I mean, how could a movie affect your basketball legacy? That's silly, man. I mean,
kids movie.
Anything that you do outside, like, see, that's the one thing. I never marry what a player does off the court to affect what he does on the court. You know, everybody says LeBron James is philanthropic. He got schools. He's doing this, putting kids through college. All of that is philanthropic. That's amazing. You know what I mean? But I don't add that to his legacy on the court. What you do to me is in between those lines is what happens in between those lines. What you do outside of that is outside of that. So whether the movie sucks or it's the greatest thing in the world, it's not going to affect LeBron James' legacy or what he does on the basketball court. No way, no how. No, that can't happen.
I agree with that part. Rodney Perry, do you agree what he does between those court lines is going to affect him, you know, outside of that? Do you think that they merge? What do you think?
I mean, you're definitely affected by your real life. It's just like somebody could, you know, tarnish their legacy with maybe, you know, giving somebody a drink and might have a little something in it. Sometimes you can tarnish. You can tarnish your legacy, but this is not it. Let's look at other actors that are basketball players. A tall gentleman played a role called Kazam. He made it through that. Shaquille O'Neal also did The Wash and Scary Movie, and I mean the guy's been Blue Chips. That didn't end his career, so I think he'll be fine. And like Frank said, I thought the movie was good. You know, you take the movie for what it was. The kid movie, my daughter thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think the movie was not horrible. If you look at it through your grown ass eyes, yeah, it's gonna be a little immature. But I mean, what you expect? What you expect?
Rodney, one question. How old is your daughter?
11.
See, there you go. It's for the kids. There you go.
It's for the kids. At the end of the day, it's for the kids.
But,
but
hold on one second. How could anybody not know it's for the kids? The star is Bugs Bunny.
The funny thing is people are judging this movie like Bugs Bunny is Robert De Niro. Let's be honest. Like Bugs Bunny's not Robert De Niro. You know what I mean? It ain't Robert De Niro. It's Bugs Bunny. The co-star happens to be LeBron James. So, you know. But anyway, man, let me talk about the next thing, man. The next thing is biggest news I saw this morning when I jumped up is that another player came out. He announced he's gay. An NHL player, 19 years old, for the Nashville Predators. His name is Luke Prokop. He announced officially that he's gay. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, Talent. I kind of starting to get bothered by this because honestly, I don't care. I don't care if you like cars. I don't care what you like. You can like boys. You can like some people who were boys. I don't care what you like. You can like whatever you want. All I care about is how you play on the field. So
Right.
why people are making these announcements of their sexual preference really starting to bother me. But
Me too. I think it's hypocritical. I think it's the biggest piece of hypocritical trash that we have out there. In one essence, oh, everybody's the same. Don't judge us. We're the same. It don't matter your sexual preference. But every time it seems like they got to make an announcement. Why are you making an announcement? If it's regular, if it's normal, if it should be perceived as normal, why are we making an announcement? You know, I got some booty a couple of weeks ago. I didn't announce it.
yeah, but what you not announcing either is who it was.
I just got on my plane the next morning and got my hair.
Talent. You said you got some a couple of weeks ago. I'm gonna need you to get some more. It's time to re-up. Yo, man, what bothers me is not the fact that he came out. It's the fact that he came out and he plays for the Predators. I mean, Predators are not good at this particular time in our society. We like saying no to Predators. So maybe you should play for another team like the Islanders, you know, or the Rangers. But you're gonna play for the Predators and you coming out as gay too? Like, come on, man. We don't need this in our community. But I love all the people. I don't care, straight, gay, transgender, whatever. You're a human being as far as I'm concerned. But I really don't care what you do in your bedroom. I just don't.
Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts?
We can't hear you, Rodney.
Oh, my bad. Prokop was selected by the Predators in the third round, number 73. This is the most press this dude has ever had.
Sure is.
19-year-old. The commissioner of the league said the most important sentiment that I can impart on Mr. Prokop is that we're behind him 100%.
All right, so I'm gonna move on because I don't want to offend nobody. I don't offend nobody. All right, so let me ask you about this, man. There was over the weekend, a Yankees fan threw a baseball and hit Alex Verdugo in the back during the game. You know what I mean? I don't know if you heard this or even saw it, but I saw it. I was like, wow. Now, he could have injured the player. If he had him off the head or anything else, he could have injured the player. So the Major League Baseball ended up banning him forever, but they left it at that. Now, my question to you, Talent, is should he have not been given some assault charges? It's like, shouldn't they have taken it one more step up? Let him, you know what I mean?
I think that's a little extreme. Yeah, you ban him, and he should have had some consequences other than that. On top of that, he should have had to deal with. Just banning him is not enough. Because if he got some real anger or remorse towards this guy, he could wait in the parking lot.
You know
what I mean?
Fig, what's your thoughts?
Man, listen, this stuff is getting out of control, man. What is up with these people that think that they could go to these arenas and these fields and stuff like that and attack the athletes? My own point is that if you were out in the street one-on-one, would you have done that without the police and this one and that one in between you and this person that you're assaulting? Would you have done that if you was out in the street? And I would tell you 99.999% they probably would not. These guys are cowards. That is an assault. A baseball. Do you know how hard a baseball is? And to hit somebody anywhere, the leg, the arm, you can cause injury to anybody with a baseball. So to take that and throw it at another human being, I don't care if they're a baseball player, you don't like him, it doesn't matter. That is an assault, and you should be arrested and brought up on charges immediately because you couldn't do it in the street.
That's what I said, Rodney Perry. I said he should have been got assault charge should have been filed because the baseball will pick up velocity. Guy was in the stands throwing the ball down. It would come and it hit him. Okay, so you don't agree, Rodney? I think it's assault charge, Rodney. Sorry.
Hold on, gentlemen. Let's look at this through another prism. Okay, how far was the guy from the other guy? I mean, if you throw a baseball and hit another human being, your ass might need to be in the league. I'm just saying. If you up in the stand and you go, wow, and you hit what you wanted to hit, I'm just saying. You might, if I'm on, I'm like, hey, get that motherfucker down here. Hey, your ass got to play next week.
This is what I got to deal with these dudes. I got to deal with these dudes all the time. All right,
I'm throwing it out there.
Literally. All right, before we talk about last night's NBA game, man, I want to talk about one more thing, man. Talent. The NFL announced this morning that they are going to play the Black National Anthem before every game at every team in the league this upcoming season. So every game, You're not going to hear the national anthem. You're going to hear the Black national anthem. Lift every voice and sing.
What league?
The NFL. He said, what league? The National Football League has announced that they will be playing Lift Every Voice and Sing before every game this season. Thoughts?
Somebody gonna get shot in Green Bay. You can't do that in every stadium. Like that's a little crazy to me. I guess they're gonna play both of them because I did see somebody do that. I can't see them swapping one out for the other because you got mixed teams. You do have a lot of black players, but you do have still a lot of white players. It's the NFL, you know. So all those big linemen, them hungry boys, you got to play their country 'tis of thee too. You know what I mean? Sweet land of liberty. So I think you're gonna play both of them, but I'm not mad at adding it. I mean, it's just kind of like balancing things out. I'm not mad at that at all.
I'm not either, but it will ruffle some feathers, I'm sure. Fig, what's your thoughts?
I'm damn near speechless. Lift every voice and sing before every NFL game. I'm telling you. I mean, this is look how far it's gone from Colin Kaepernick taking the knee to them playing Lift Every Voice and Sing at every NFL game. Man, that is something is happening. There's an undercurrent in this country, and something is happening, man. And I don't think people are recognizing the significance of it, man. But that is crazy. Like Taylor said, some people are gonna be pissed off. Those people that had to take down the Confederate flags and hang them up on their living room wall, they're gonna be upset about this.
Yeah. If you guys want to join the conversation, click on the link. Tell us what you think, whether you agree or disagree, whether you think it should happen or not, what you think the NFL is going to do. You tell us all that. Rodney Perry, what's your thoughts on this?
I mean, y'all know I'm a pretty contrary dude, man. And I think this, while it's a cool gesture, it's just a gesture. Like in lieu of doing something significant, they do this. Colin Kaepernick is still not in the league.
Right.
There still are no blacks in ownership. So thank you, NFL, for the gesture. But let's do something tangible for black people. Like the song is cool, mad love, mad respect, but it's a pretty hollow gesture in my opinion.
Okay. Let's move on now because we only got not much time, man. I want to talk about the NBA Finals, man, that happened over the weekend. Talon, let me start with you. You said who's going to win game 5 would be the winner of the series. I said who's going to win game 4. It just so happens to be it's the same team. You know what I mean? The same team won game 4, won game 5. So I guess now, what are your thoughts on the Phoenix-Milwaukee Bucks series? And have you changed your mind? I think you said Phoenix is going to win the series. I think you said that. I can't remember. But
I said I'm caught in the middle because I think all of us as NBA fans would love to see Chris get it. So for that reason, you would be happy if it's them. But going into it, the Greek Freak team, Milwaukee Bucks just looked too strong and too big for them. And then lo and behold, Phoenix held up the first 2 games at home. It's like, okay, we got a game. But Giannis had something to say about that, and Middleton and all those guys. And I'm going to tell you the reason I always say game 5, when it's tied up, that's the shifter. Game 5 is the shifter of whether they can win at home, give them a chance to close it out at home, or have to do it on the road. So that's why I say that whoever was going to win game 5 definitely was going to win the series. I just think, man, they finish it out tomorrow. I think you know that ran its course. Phoenix, they look tired, they look real exhausted, and at the end of the game, when they had a chance to kind of turn the tide, so to speak, you saw youth against veteranship on one play. You saw youth versus veteranship. There's no way in the world you get that ball ripped from you that clean, even be able for the defender to do what Holiday did. And you see when the ball popped out, Frank, it was like the ball popped out and gave him a fast break.
It sure was. Fig, my question for you, Fig, is this. Do you think it's over for Phoenix, and do they have a chance? What's your thoughts on this?
No, man, you know, my caveat to all of that, Frank, is if Milwaukee plays to their strengths, which is you know, in the paint, they're bigger, they're stronger, you know what I mean, and and if they play to their strengths, like earlier when we were talking to Chris, like if they stop jacking up 3-pointers and dominate inside the paint as far as their rebounds and going to the hole and stuff like that, Phoenix only has one guy that could compete against him, which is DeAndre Ayton. So I give it to Milwaukee to be able to win. I picked Milwaukee for Game 5, and I think they're going to close it out at home. I think it's a Herculean effort for Phoenix to be able to go into Milwaukee and beat them in a Game 6 on their home floor after all of the stuff that the Milwaukee Bucks have been through over the last 3 years in the NBA playoffs.
Rodney Perry, what's your thought?
Of course, you know I'm a mad conspiracy theorist, man, and I'm convinced that the NBA will not let this series end in this next game. The Suns are going to have a miraculous comeback. Chris Paul going to drop 35. Your boy going to drop 40 as per usual. DeAndre Ayton is going to step up. That's who's going to step up this next game. I think the Suns win this game going away, and the Bucks start looking pedestrian like they did in games 1 and 2.
They going away, all right. They going fishing.
Let me ask you.
Y'all always jump on the bandwagon. Y'all was just 2 games ago asking if the Bucks was finished.
Not me.
No, I asked the question. I was asking the question, and I'm gonna say this, Talon. I'm gonna throw it to you, and I'm gonna circle back around everything else. And after Game 2, you know, Chris Paul, those guys, they look phenomenal and everything else. Last night, it was in the game. Last time the game was playing, people have said too that they've noticed that there's an issue with Chris Paul. They said it, and nobody said confirmed or anything else that's gonna happen. So Chris Paul loses. Let's say he loses. Is he gonna stay in Phoenix, bro, and try to get it back, run it back? What you think?
I don't think so. I think he's going to go at this point. If he loses, I can easily see Chris Paul joining one of the super teams just to give himself an even further advance to one more time at the finals. So don't be surprised you see him join somebody already got a star or two to make it happen. I think money's going to be an issue over there at Phoenix. I think for what he wants at his age, I don't think they're going to do it.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you, Fig. Do you think Chris Paul is going to stay if the Phoenix Suns lose? Do you expect him to stay in the Phoenix Sun uniform? Because, like Talon said, his age is getting up there. Correct? If I'm not mistaken, I think he turned 37. I think he turned 37.
Yeah,
what you think?
He does. He's 36 years old. He does turn 37. My only caveat, because it's hard to know what's in a man's head. If Chris Paul is willing to forego some of his salary to be able to get a championship, it's like at this point in your career, what do you want more? Do you want the money or do you want the ring? You know what I mean? And that will determine whether he stays or leaves. I think one of the best teams for Chris to go is possibly over to the Lakers, which is not far, still out there in the West, and play with LeBron James and AD, and just call it the geriatric Lakers.
Rodney Perry, what you think? Do you think Chris Paul, if he loses, he stays with Phoenix?
How about this? If Chris Paul loses, he will become the losingest player in NBA history in the playoffs. You know, with an opportunity to win, and that's an incredible stat to carry with him. If he doesn't win, I think the window. You know, back in the day, you used to pull the window up and you got to put something on there because the window was kind of slippery and the window was closed.
Right.
That window is gonna close on his damn hand.
You know, the funny thing is you're right. The stat is up there about him with Chris Paul. The crazy thing is all the other times was because of injury. It wasn't because of playing ability. All other times because of injury. This one time, he still might be injured again, and we just not leaving. He might be, but this one time he's not going out for injury. So
right. Was Chris Paul ever the best player on his team? Like throughout his whole career, can we ever say that Chris Paul was the best player on his team?
I don't think so. I mean, as I sit there and think about it, I don't think so.
Yeah, of course, somewhere down there he was the best player on his team.
I don't know. If you go back to the teams, I don't know. I mean, he might have been as good as, but But let me get the last question is, and before, because the time is going to creep up on me real fast too, man. Naomi Osaka, she has literally announced that she's getting ready to play for Japan. She's not playing for the U.S. She's going to play for Japan. The minute she announced that she's playing for Japan, because she's black and she's Japanese, the minute she announced that talent, she got a whole lot of hate stuff not thrown her way. People commented on her. They sent stuff to her social media. They're saying all kinds of stuff. That hashtag, like they created all kinds of crazy things about Naomi Osaka, which I think could also help and hurt her mental ability also, because you know how I'm not saying she's fragile, but she does have some mental health issues. How do you think that she's going to move forward if she doesn't get the fans and everybody else behind her and around her that she thinks she might get going to the Olympics now and representing Japan? What do you think?
Well, first of all, everybody better settle down. Could have been worse. She could have said she's playing for Africa. She could have embraced her black side. All hell would have broke loose. I think that I know she's a little sensitive or whatever, but we don't really know to the extent of, you know, the capacity of her mental well-being. So she may be stronger in other areas than we know, and that might be one of them. That might be one of those things like, okay, I don't really care if you're happy I'm playing for Japan or not, and it doesn't bother her. We don't know what those little things are that kind of set her up where she needs a moment or so. So this may not be one of those moments, right? I think she might be cool. Okay,
you think? Honestly, I think since mental health is a part of her issue and everything else, I think it could rear its ugly head, because you know that just doesn't go away. Fig, what's your thought?
I don't know, man. It's kind of funny because I'm a black man, and you know, clearly she's you know, she has black in her, or black parents, or one of them at least, and it just seems like it's quite a bit of professional athletes that are of mixed race, times in their life where they don't choose to embrace you know, the black side of their family, which is, you know, I don't know, at some point it just makes us, you know, I guess as black people, uncomfortable. But I mean, look, she has a Japanese parent also, so if that's what she wants to embrace, I mean, more power to her.
Rodney Perry, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think her mother's Japanese and her father's American, and I think that's the problem that people are having. Because
the problem is her mother's a ninja.
I'm not going to respond to that. Not going to respond to that. Rodney Perry, her mom was a ninja going to talent. What you think, man, Rodney Perry? What's your thoughts on Naomi Osaka?
You know, I'm a file that's under the same file as the gay dude on the hockey league. I think this is just another cry for attention, man. I mean, the little girl is you know, like, where's, goodness gracious, man. Now, you don't want no attention. You don't want to do no interviews, but you want to make the announcement you're playing for Japan. What? Now you got to have 1,000 interviews explaining this shit. You know what I'm saying? Man, I understand.
That's true.
When you're a mixed race, mixed organ, I know you feel the pressure to embrace your Asian side. You love your mother. You want to embrace her side of the family. I get that, but you got to know that when you do this, it's going to get you all kind of crazy attention. Right. And so, I mean, I wish the best for the young girl. I mean, I'm looking at on the Sports Illustrated issue. She definitely built like an Asian.
Oh, wow. Hey, she better be careful. If she plays for Japan and she wins, she comes back to America with all the violence going on with the fans. Somebody is going Osaka.
Yeah.
That's my ninja.
I don't know why Rodney Perry don't like Naomi Osaka so much.
I like Naomi.
You don't, man.
You keep calling her little girl.
You keep dissing her.
No, I'm not dissing her, Franklin.
Yes, you are. Mental health issue. You said, so what? I remember that vividly. So what? Who cares?
Suck it up.
You gotta, at some point, you're a professional athlete. You got to man up. You can't do an interview.
She's a woman. How's she gonna man up?
No, but he makes a great point. You're going through it. You don't want to do interviews, but you make an announcement that's going to cause you to do interviews.
That is real controversial. I gotta admit.
That's a great point. That's a great point because it's true.
That's
All right,
great.
y'all. That's the show. We gotta get ready to roll up out of here. Talent. The time is getting close, man, for your event. It's look like it's a week after next. It's a week.
Yes, it is, brother. Yes, it is. The 30th is close. Last call for now. We have the tickets on sale because the room packages are sold out. So we have the tickets on sale. Email me talent@itsjustcomedy.com and be a part of it. Atlantic City, Claridge Hotel. 3 days, 2 nights, overnight. Rodney, you gonna be able to join us or what, bro?
I was supposed to be working in Tacoma, but if I can get out of that, I'm gonna try to come in one of those days, man, at least.
Let me know, man. Get your plane ticket, brother. Once again, email me talent@itsjustcomedy.com.
Big.
You know, you can. I got so caught up in what Talent was saying, man. I forgot. I'm at Comedian Fig on all social media platforms. Box seats. Monday through Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. The one with Chris Broussard and the best damn sports show on TV.
Rodney Perry.
Man love, man respect to Mr. Chris Broussard for coming on the show. RodneyPerry.com on all social media and Rodney Perry Live in every space other than that. So appreciate y'all.
Thank you all for watching. Thanks to Chris Broussard for watching the show. Y'all saw Talent. He had to leave. That was Fig. That's Rodney Perry. We'll be back tomorrow, Monday. And like I said, when we have guests, we have guests. You know, sometimes they cancel, but sometimes they really come through. All right, y'all. We out. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
You hosted the hell out of the show today, Frank. You did a good job.
Thank you very much, Rodney Perry. I appreciate it. We'll see y'all. Peace.